In a small village surrounded by mountains, there lived a man named Lin. His life was like that of many others: work, family responsibilities, and the constant pressure of living up to society's expectations. Since he was a child, Lin had lived in a tense home, with parents who often argued, and this tumultuous atmosphere had taken root in him, like a storm that could not find peace. If you too feel overwhelmed by the pressures of life, continue reading this story to discover how Lin found inner peace. Every day, Lin faced the world with anxiety in his heart. He was constantly worried about what could go wrong. If he was late for an appointment, his mind would wander to catastrophic scenarios. If he received a criticism at work, he would immediately think that he would be fired. It was as if every small inconvenience was a giant wave ready to overwhelm him. At night, his thoughts would haunt him, preventing him from sleeping peacefully. He would wake up exhausted, his mind constantly racing, unable to find a moment of peace. If this feeling resonates with you, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more inspiring stories like this one. One day, overwhelmed by the weight of his worries, Lin decided to take a break. He skipped work and went to a park outside the village, a place he had always found beautiful but rarely had time to visit. There, surrounded by greenery and birdsong, Lin walked slowly, but inside his heart continued to beat frantically, as if nothing could truly calm him. As he crossed a small wooden bridge, Lin came across a monk named Duyen. The monk, with a shaved head and an orange robe, gave him a calm smile and said in a serene voice, "Good morning, brother. I feel that you are carrying a great burden. Can I perhaps help you find some peace?" Lin was surprised by the greeting. At that moment, something inside him stopped, as if his worries had fallen away to make room for that calm and gentle presence. Without even realizing it, he began to tell the monk about his anxieties, his sleepless nights, and how he felt trapped in an endless cycle of fear and tension. Duyen listened with great compassion, and when Lin finished speaking, he said, "I too once knew that whirlwind of thoughts, but there is a way to calm the storm inside you. In our temple, in the mountains, we teach practices that will help you find the inner peace you seek. You could come with us for a while, if you wish. Have you ever tried to find refuge in meditation or a place of peace? Leave a comment with your experience or how you find calm in difficult times." Lin hesitated. The idea of leaving everything and taking refuge in a temple seemed like an extreme act, but there was something in the monk's words that intrigued him. He felt that this might be his only chance to break the cycle of anxiety and find a way out. "Yes," he said finally, "I will come with you." That weekend, Lin went to the temple, which is isolated in the mountains. He was greeted warmly by the monks, and Duyen showed him to a small, simple but cozy room where he would stay. Over the next few days, he attended group meditations and yoga sessions, but initially found it difficult to calm his mind. His thoughts continued to race, despite his best efforts. One night during an evening meditation, Lin found himself overcome with frustration. "I'll never be able to get rid of these thoughts," he thought. But then he remembered Duyen's words. "You don't have to fight your thoughts. You just have to observe them and let them go. They're not you." These words resonated with him, and slowly Lin began to change his attitude toward his mind. Instead of fighting the whirlwind of thoughts, he began to observe his thoughts as if they were clouds in the sky, passing by without stopping. With patience and kindness to himself, Lin found that, little by little, the storm inside him began to calm down. A sense of calmness was creeping in among the chaos. Practicing observing your thoughts can bring great benefits. Try spending a few minutes a day meditating and you will notice the changes. As the weeks passed, Lin began to notice a profound change within herself. During her yoga sessions, her muscles, once tense from stress, relaxed. Her meditations became deeper, and in moments of stillness she felt a connection to something greater. The temple, surrounded by nature, seemed to reflect this sense of peace. The trees, the wind, and the silence of the mountains had become an integral part of her spiritual journey. One afternoon, Lin and Duyen sat together by a stream that flowed gently between rocks. "You have made much progress, brother," Duyen said. "But remember, The real test of your inner peace will come when you return to your everyday life. Storms will still arise, but now you have the tools to navigate them. Inner peace is the result of constant training. Have you tried cultivating it yet? Tell us about your journey in the comments. Lin listened in silence, knowing that returning to his life in the village would bring new challenges. However, this time, he felt ready. He felt that no matter what difficulties he encountered, there was a refuge within him that no storm could destroy. Before leaving, Duyan gave him a small gift, a necklace of wooden beads, similar to those used by monks for meditation. Each bead represents a quality you will have to cultivate, Duyan said. Compassion, equanimity, love, forgiveness. Whenever you feel the storm approaching, touch a bead and remember that the peace you seek is already within you. Lin returned to the village, welcomed with affection by his family, who immediately noticed the change in him. His presence was calmer, his gestures slower and more measured. In the early days, he made a point of integrating what he had learned at the temple into his routine. Every morning, he sat in silence to meditate, and even during work, he took short breaks to breathe deeply and bring his attention back to the present. However, the pressures of daily life soon took their toll. Deadlines, responsibilities, traffic, everything seemed to conspire to shake the serenity Lin had cultivated. But this time was different. When he felt anxiety rising, he touched the beaded necklace Duyan had given him and reminded himself to bring his attention back to his breathing. Even in the most difficult moments, he found a center of calm within himself. As time passed, despite the inevitable challenges of life, Lin learned to navigate them with greater calm and wisdom. She knew that peace was not something that could be achieved once and for all, but an ongoing process, a daily training. Each storm was an opportunity to strengthen her connection to the inner refuge she had discovered. Remember, inner peace is not a destination, but a constant journey. Continue to cultivate your serenity and discover the power of breathing and meditation. A year later, Lin returned to the temple to visit Duyan. They sat by the stream again, in silence. There were not many words to exchange, only a deep sense of gratitude. Lin knew his journey was just beginning, but now he had the confidence to face it. The storm inside him was no longer ruling him. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to our channel for more stories that will guide you on your journey to inner peace. And so, Lin's story teaches us that while the storms of life will continue to arise, we can learn to navigate them with wisdom, compassion, and patience. The peace we seek is not found outside, but within ourselves, and cultivating it requires dedication, but most of all, gentle self-love.